Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Maybe you are aware that supposedly some certain media outlets report at first that the Houthis are responsible for cutting the submarine communication cables between Asia and Europe. And that comes from, I think, Jerusalem Post and some global thing over there. I will show you. But there's a lot of denying and finger pointing, including that it might have been Russia. And Houthis are the ones because they said they will do it 6 months ago. So if they said they will do it 6 months ago and now it happens, it must be the Houthis. So if the Americans said they will destroy their Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines and that happened, it must be them. No, only in the first instance is the Houthis who said they will and it happened. So now this guy says it's the Houthis. But when the Americans said it's not going to happen, we'll stop that. Remember Biden? We'll stop that. And it happened. No connection. No, nothing. Let me show you. We're going to start with the New York Post. All right. Houthi rebels destroy underwater cables linking Europe to Asia in latest act of sabotage. How do they know? Because someone else said that. The Register underwater cables in Red Sea damaged months after Houthis threatened to do just that. Guilty, right there. The Americans are not guilty with the Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines. Remember, already we know right here. They did it, Houthi rebels destroy it. Because they said they will. And what do we find here? They said that undersea data cables in the Red Sea have reportedly, someone said reported about it, been damaged months after Yemeni Houthi rebels threatened to do so. At least 15 submarine cables passed through a Bab al-Mandab Strait at the southern end of the Red Sea, a body of water just 26 kilometers wide. At some points, Yemen is the strait's northern shore. Yeah, but who's in the south? Next one. What do we find here? We find that the first reports of damage to submarine cables off the coast of Yemen emerged on Monday morning with Israeli news outlet Globes claiming that 4 cables had experienced damage. So the Israelis news Globes reported, aren't the Yemenis or the Houthis at war with Israel for what they say, the Gaza? So should this be trustworthy? Well, where I come from, no. It's like your mommy said, no. Or my mommy said, no. Amy was home when that happened. Well, Amy was not home when that happened. My mom covers for me. Why? Because probably Emil did it. So let's go to the next article coming from these guys, DCD. All right, at least one subsea fiber cable damaged in the Red Sea. Some reports blame Houthi rebels. Who are the reports? Right there. All right, and you have here Israeli press, including Jerusalem Post and Globes, suggested that. All right, well, next one. Tech Spot. Yemeni Houthi rebels suspected of damaging underwater Red Sea cables responsible for 17% of global internet traffic. Well, what can you do, man? And it says who? Israel's new publication, Globes, reports that Oh, okay, next. Oh, we got these guys. The Jerusalem Post. The first responders. Houthi knock out underwater cables linking Europe to Asia. Report. The successful targeting of 4 cables which are believed to belong to the AAE-1, CCOM, EIG and TGN systems marks a serious disruption of communication between Europe and Asia, we report. Okay, my friends, you got it? Next one. The Telegraph. These imbeciles. Russia may have just carried out its first direct action against the West. So that is, They say the Houthis could not have done it. It must be the Russians. And that's the point they make over there. And the problem is, I read another article where they said a simple anchor dragged on the bottom of the sea could damage those. But hey, these guys know what they're talking about. It's the Russians. How do you know it's the Russians? Well, they are the only ones that have an interest and the capability. The Americans did not have an interest in Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines whatsoever. Let's see what these imbeciles, I'm just going to jump from one to another. So Russia may have just, Tom Sharpie said, sharpen your brain first and then you come and talk. So again, they show us here, the threat to undersea infrastructure, like every other threat just now, is increasing. Only a few weeks ago, the Houthis, so adeptly disrupting commercial shipping in the checkpoint Bab al-Mandeb checkpoint, declared that they were going to add undersea disruption to their playbook. See, that's the evidence this imbecile Sharpie pushes. If they said it and it happened, it must be them. But about Russia, United States of America, and the Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines, no, don't even think about it. Well, logic here, but illogic there, or the other way around. They said they would target the submarine cables that run through the Bab el-Mandeb between Asia and Europe. So the United States of America. They said they will. It's not going to happen. They will put a stop at it. Didn't say that, Biden, we're going to stop that? Okay, so that's the first one. That's the logic. And then they go here and they show us regarding the Nord Stream pipelines. Who's in the submarine over there? Can you guess? Vladimirovich Putin. You can't make shit up, man. Vladimir Putin is pictured during dive in Russia's Mir-1 mini submarine in Lake Baikal 2009. So we know who did that, all right? Motive is one thing, something it helps to look at capability. And they gave us the capability right here, himself. Man, these guys think that we're baboons, man. Man, it's so easy. It's so easy, man. It's at the surface. Why? Because the baboons don't dig. The baboons are just, that's a fruit falling from the tree. That's what they do. Next one. And here is what the other side says. Now, don't you think the Houthis should celebrate that and say, yeah, man, we did it. Yeah. And do I don't know, a group jerk off or something? No, they don't say that. They deny. Sputnik. Houthis refute claims they've sabotaged underwater cables in the Red Sea. Oh my, then what are these guys gonna say? Where are they? Where are you? What are these guys gonna say after all? No? Where are you? Did that come? Oh, there. What are these guys gonna say about it? Huh? Remember, all these guys made their little articles, garbage articles based on that. All these guys based on this. And now we have the offender, and let's see what they say. First, I don't know who did it, right? But these guys use logic here, or kind of logic, but over there, niet. So let's see what's going on here. Israeli media, holy moly macaroni, reported on Monday, so they were the first ones, that the Yemeni militia had targeted 4 submarine communication cables in the area between Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and Republic of Djibouti. The Houthis' telecommunications ministry has denied reports by, and I'm quoting, Zionist-linked media, and quote, claiming that they have sabotaged major underwater telecommunication cables connecting Europe, Africa, and Asia. And I'm quoting, the Ministry of Telecoms and Information Technology denies what has been published by the Zionist-linked media outlets and also what has been published by other media outlets on the social networks on allegations as to what has been caused to Red Sea submarine cables. The militia said in an English language statement Tuesday, a day after an Israeli Hebrew language newspaper reported the militia had caused serious disruption and quote to internet cables between Europe and Asia. And I'm quoting, Yemen Telecom affirms its pivotal role to continue and build up and develop the international and regional telecom and internet networks, which are provided by the submarine cables running within the Yemeni territorial waters, and will keep up to facilitate the passage and implementation of the submarine cable projects through the Yemeni territorial waters, inclusive the project into which the Yemen Republic participated by Yemen International Telecom Co. Tele Yemen. Woohoo! Okay, so they said it was not us. Now what do you think? So, Western reporting on possible Houthi operations to sabotage underwater internet cables began to surface in January, with the BBC running a story in early February saying the Houthis almost certainly would target the cable if they could. But hey, no, that's not what they said. No, they said that they will do that. Right there, they said damage month after Houthis threatened to do just that. So that's a statement. After they said they will do that, this guy said, no, we didn't say that. It was Houthis almost certainly would target the cables if they could. This is what BBC reported. Are they lying? Could be. Are they telling the truth? Could be. All right, my friends, got it? If they could, while admitting that the fiber cables, which carry 17% of the world's internet traffic, lie on the seabed, mostly hundreds of meters below the surface, well below the reach of divers. Only a handful of countries, including the US, Russia, have the capability to sabotage this infrastructure using deep-sea submersible, the outlet said. So, where was that? Someone said, when I read it, that you could just drag it. This is how low it is. Nevertheless, who did it? We don't know. Do you believe the reports? No, I don't. Why? I don't believe them without evidence. Just because they said so means nothing. Right? I mean, I pay attention and I'm keeping an eye on that and see what evidence these guys bring up. But on the other hand, Nord Stream pipeline, where 1 and 2, what's going on with that? We don't know. The Danish court, the guys from Denmark, they concluded their investigation and said it was an act of sabotage, but we don't know who did it, and pass it to the Germans because the Germans says give me the investigation. The Swedes does the same thing. We don't know what happened. I mean, we know it was act of sabotage, but we don't know who did it. Aww, isn't that sweet? Did you see the guy over there in the submarine? That guy who did it himself got a hammer and a fucking whatever, bang, 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 while he was under the water like this. You hold this, okay? And the guy held it. That's exactly how it happened. I was over there. My friends, this is garbage. And what a coincidence, Israel is reported. Now, could be true, could be, but I have many doubts. Not doubts, I'm skeptical. They could have had someone else, like the New York Times, say it. But they had to say, according to some, how they call it, sources familiar with the matter. Under, it's a confidential information. We can provide you the source. They could have done it that way easily. From Jerusalem, or from Tel Aviv, straight to New York. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.